Okay, so it's exam week, your heart's literally pounding out of your chest, hands are sweating like crazy, you can't sleep. Every night you can't sleep until 3 a.m. thinking, what if I mess everything up? And then that moment hits, you grab the test paper, look at the questions, and your brain just flatlines. You're not alone in this, but here's what I gotta ask you. How come Japanese students actually thrive in one of the most intense exam systems on the planet while you're over here having a complete meltdown? Like, that's not fair, right? Hold up. They're not robots. They're human, just like you. But here's the thing. They're doing something different. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that something different is. Before starting the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're ready, let's jump in, because these techniques are about to change your life. But first, you need to understand what exam stress actually is. A real student's story. Meet Kenji. He's a 17-year-old Japanese high school student, just like you. But Kenji's facing the Daigaku Nyūshi, the university entrance exam. This one test determines Kenji's entire future, which university he'll attend, what career he'll have, even how his family will see him. The pressure? Oof, you can't even imagine. Kenji's friend Kazuo failed this same exam last year. Now Kazuo's studying for another whole year. They call it being a Ronin. Ronin means samurai without a master. And I mean, that name isn't random, because failing in Japan carries serious weight. So is Kenji's stress legit? Absolutely. But here's what Kenji's doing right now. Instead of freaking out, he's using a system, and this system has been part of Japanese culture for centuries. Why stress destroys you. All right, let's face some hard truths. Exam stress isn't just a little nervousness. Science has literally proven that chronic stress shrinks your hippocampus, your brain's learning center. Yeah, you heard that right. Stress is literally eating your brain. And it gets worse. When you're stressed, cortisol levels spike. Cortisol triggers fight or flight mode. Your brain switches to survive mode, not learn mode. Like you're taking an exam, but your brain thinks you're running from a wild grizzly bear. Math question? Bear. Literature analysis? Bear. Chemistry formula? Big angry bear. Sounds ridiculous, right? But to your brain, there's no difference. Stress is stress. That's why the days you study the hardest end up being your worst performance days, because, well, your brain's in battle mode. So how did Japanese students break this cycle? Technique number 1, Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. Kenji wakes up early every morning during exam week, but not to study. He goes for a walk in the nearby park, 15 minutes, just walking, among the trees. No phone, no music, just nature. They call it Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. And you know what science says? Just 15 minutes in nature drops your cortisol by 16%. Heart rate slows, blood pressure normalizes, and most importantly, your brain switches back to learning mode. Like while you're sitting at home panicking like, I gotta study, Kenji's walking under trees. And guess who's gonna perform better on exam day? Yep, the kid walking in the forest. Because he's giving his brain a chance to rest, you're just beating yours up. Your move. Tomorrow morning before your exam, just step outside for 10 minutes. A park, garden, even a tree-lined street works. Walk, breathe deep, leave your phone behind. Just exist. Your brain will thank you. So will your test scores. Technique number 2, Gaman, the art of endurance. Now, picture Kenji on exam day. He walks into the exam hall, gets his paper, looks at the first question, and doesn't know it. Does he panic? Nope, because Kenji's learned the principle of Gaman. Gaman means quiet endurance, but it's not some toxic bottle-up-your-pain thing. It's the opposite. Gaman is about learning to stay calm when facing difficulty. In Japanese culture, Gaman is a life philosophy. Earthquakes, tsunamis, brutal exams, they're all part of life. And Gaman says, this is hard, but I'm harder. So Kenji sees that question and doesn't go, I'm screwed. He takes a deep breath, marks it, moves on. Because he knows one question doesn't define the whole exam. You, though, you get stuck on that question. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then time's up. You didn't even look at the other easy questions.
Like Gaman teaches you, you can't control everything, but you can control your reaction. Your move. When you hit a tough question in an exam, stop, close your eyes, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. Repeat this 3 times. It's called box breathing. Navy SEALs use it, Japanese students too. It shuts down panic mode, reboots your brain. Technique number 3, Kaizen. Small steps, massive results. Okay, now I'm dropping the most powerful technique. How does Kenji prepare for his exam? By studying 8 hours a day?
Nope, by studying 33 minutes a day. What, you're saying? Yeah, you heard right. But here's the trick. Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement, but through tiny, super small steps. What do we do in the West? Exams in 1 week? Okay, I'm going to study 10 hours every day this week. First day, we study 2 hours. Second day, we're tired, study 30 minutes. Third day, don't study at all. And at the end, we say, I'm a failure. But what does Kenji do? Every day, just 33 minutes. And in those 33 minutes, he does active recall. Instead of opening his notes and reading, he closes his notes and tests himself. How much of this topic do I actually remember? Because, reading doesn't equal learning. Recalling equals learning. And 33 minutes might seem small, but over 30 days, that's 16.5 hours. And those 16.5 hours are way more valuable than your panic-fueled 50 hours, because Kenji's brain is fresh every day. Yours is burnt out by day 3. Your move. Start today. Just 25 minutes. Set a timer, close your notes, and try to recall. It'll be hard at first, but every day it gets a little easier. And on exam day, while you're panicking looking at your notes, you'll be chill because you already tested yourself every single day. Technique 4, Ikigai. Why are you even studying? Okay, let's get a little deep now. Why is Kenji studying? You might say to pass the exam, but no, that's not enough. In Japanese culture, there's this concept, Ikigai, your reason for being, a reason to wake up in the morning. And Kenji knows the exam is just a tool. His real goal, he wants to become an environmental engineer, because when he was a kid, a flood disaster hit his town, and he felt guilty for not being able to help his family. Now he wants to save other people's families in the future. That's his Ikigai. And that's why when Kenji studies, he's not thinking, I need to pass this test. He's thinking, I'm building my future. You, though, you're studying like, I can't disappoint my parents, or what will my friends think? That's negative motivation, fear-based. And fear only carries you so far. Then you crash. But purpose? Purpose fills you with infinite energy. Your move. Ask yourself, if I pass this exam, what do I actually want? Don't just say a good college. Go deeper. What do you want to do? Who do you want to help? What mark do you want to leave on the world? Find that. Write it down. Stick it above your desk. And every time you study, remember you're working toward that goal, not the exam. Technique 5. Hara, Hachi, Bu. The 80% rule. Okay, this might sound weird, but hear me out. How does Kenji eat during exam season? He eats until he's 80% full. They call it Hara Hachi Bu. In Okinawa, where the world's longest living people are from, everyone follows this principle. Why? Because overeating equals blood sugar spike, equals energy crash, equals brain fog. You grab a huge burger, fries, and a Coke before your exam. I need energy, you say. But 30 minutes later, you want to pass out because all your blood's in your stomach, not your brain. Kenji eats a light meal instead, some rice, fish, vegetables, feeding his brain without stuffing his stomach. In the result, during the exam, instead of dozing off, he's sharp and focused. Your move? On exam day, don't eat junk for breakfast. Choose protein plus complex carbs. Eggs, whole wheat toast, a banana. Light but satisfying. And during the exam, drink water. Water is your brain's best friend. Technique 6. Wabi-sabi. Let go of perfect. Now, maybe the most important lesson. Kenji isn't perfect. He makes mistakes. Sometimes he gets questions wrong. Sometimes he feels tired. But he's embraced the principle of wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi means the beauty of imperfection. Nothing is perfect, nothing is permanent, nothing is complete. And you know how this philosophy kills exam stress? Because you're thinking, I need to get 100. And when you get 95, you say, I'm a failure. But Kenji says, I'll do my best. And whatever the result is, he accepts the process. Perfectionism kills you because perfection doesn't exist. You make one mistake on a question and you spend the entire exam thinking about that mistake. Can't even focus on the other questions. Kenji makes a mistake, says, okay, it happened, moving on, and keeps going. Your move? Before the exam, tell yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to do my best. This reduces pressure, and when pressure drops, performance rises. The final 24 hours before exam. Okay, let me show you Kenji's last 24 hours before exam day. 24 hours before, Kenji's not trying to learn anything new. He's just reviewing what he knows, quickly, using his flashcards. 12 hours before, he takes a light walk. Yeah, the night before the exam, because movement reduces stress. 2 hours before bed, screens off. Blue light blocks melatonin production, your sleep hormone. So if he wants to sleep early, no phone. Before sleeping, 10 minutes of deep breathing, eyes closed, and he visualizes himself succeeding tomorrow. It's called visualization. Olympic athletes use it, and it works. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Kenji never neglects to sleep for 7 to 8 hours because he knows that working with a tired mind is less productive than working with a rested mind. But what are you doing? Studying till 3 a.m., loading up on caffeine, panicking, and showing up to the exam like a zombie. Like you're losing the battle before it even starts. Exam day. Kenji's routine. Okay. Kenji wakes up early, takes a shower, cold water. This wakes up his body and drops stress. Light breakfast, green tea. Not coffee, because coffee gets you too hyped, then you crash. On the way to the exam, he puts in earbuds, but not music, his own voice. He recorded it last night. I'm ready. I can do this. It's just a test. Walks into the exam hall, sits down, closes his eyes, 3 deep breaths, gets the paper, doesn't immediately jump into questions. First, he quickly scans all the pages. Which questions are easy, which ones are hard. Then starts with the easy ones. Why? Because this builds momentum, gives him that I got this feeling. Hits a hard question, marks it, moves on, comes back later. And most importantly, he's not focused on winning the exam, he's focused on showing what he's learned.
The story ends here. Kenji finishes the exam, walks out, and feels totally calm. Whatever the result, he did his best, didn't panic, trusted the system. And the result? Kenji gets into his dream university. But that's not the real lesson. The real lesson is this. An exam is just an exam. Life is way bigger than this. And if you apply Kenji's techniques, Shinrin-yoku, Gaman, Kaizen, Ikigai, Hara, Hachi, Wabi-sabi, you'll feel that same calm too. Because success doesn't come from just studying, it comes from studying smart. And you can do this. Now it's your turn. Try one of these techniques today, just one. Tomorrow, add another. And by exam day, you'll be a completely different student. You won't be dying from stress. You'll be calm, focused, and ready. Just like Japanese students. Send this video to that friend, the one who has panic attacks before exams, because they need to hear this too. See you in the next video.